Assalamu Alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I really want to talk about something very important to me, and something very important I think to a lot of people out there who are genuinely trying to invest in, whether it's the stock market, whether it is the properties or any other thing that they want to invest in, something that's holding everyone else back. And this conversation basically that I'm having sort of with you guys now came from and I wanted this to be a conversation because at the end of this video I'd like you to go to the comment section and talk to us about what is your journey, where are you with this whole thing. And what I want to talk about today is how do you build wealth, where do you start, what is the steps that you need to take to be able to be in a position where you can financially say, you know what, I have enough to retire if I want to retire, to have the freedom to travel around the world, to help my family, to build that house, to, whatever it is that you're after. There's a reason why you're watching this video, right? And if you're already there, perfect. Tell us more about what you've done. Where are you? What was your journey? How did you start? Because I have been sharing my journey for quite some time now, and I wanted people to share more, to tell us what what your journey looks like. What you see right now in front of you is my actual portfolio. I've got this one. I've got a family portfolio, and then I do have a couple of properties. One I've already built in, that gives me a passive income. I share that with you guys every single week or month. And there's another one that is being built right now and almost finished, and I'm almost paid off, alhamdulillah. I'm quite happy with that. I do have little bit of savings and things like that, and other investments with family and so on. So I'm trying to do everything I can, and I've learned a lot over the last 5-10 years, if you like. And what I want to do is help as many people as I possibly can. And this conversation came from a friend of mine who I actually spoke to a couple of days ago. I haven't seen him in ages, and we sat down for the first time. I've been since, I think it's almost 7-8 years. Really close friend of mine, and who's been, he moved out of the city and all of that. And I just feel like I haven't spoken to him in ages. We went out for a meal. We talked to so many things about, so many things. And one of the things that I just realized very quickly is the fact that he really would like to start, investing on all of these things, but is kind of stuck, just like everyone else in the UK right now. It just feels doom and gloom. Like it doesn't feel, you go to work every day, but you can't save much. You can't do things. And what I want to do today is just kind of give you some steps that you should take, and just give you my also point of view, if you like, things that help me kind of thing. Okay. Just to let you know, if you have not joined us in the Patreon account, please do so. Send me your portfolios, please. If you join us on the the intelligent investor side of things, you can actually basically get a hold of the subscriber portfolio review spreadsheet, send it to me, and then I'll have a look at it, and I'll give you my honest feedback for you guys. It's been eye-opener for me, and I think it's been eye-opener for quite a few brothers that have sent me their ones. So inshallah, you will benefit something out of it. And I think it basically, of course, it helps the channel as well. So I just called this, how do you build your wealth, or do this to build your wealth, for example. So these are the things that kind of help me. And I think these are the simple things, because when you go online and read these books and so on, and I've read so many books, from the intelligent investor to whether it comes with stock markets, or poor, rich dad, poor dad kind of thing books, and millions of other books in between. I'm over exaggerating a million, but I love reading books, so I've got I read a lot. So that's one of the things that I've done. But I just want to make it simple. Okay, I want to do a couple of steps just to help you get started. Step 1, pay off debt. A lot of us, unfortunately, are in debt. Okay, especially if you have any high interest debt. Of course, we should not be getting into debt, but unfortunately, whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, in the UK right now, there's so many people that have debt. And of course, paying interest on high interest on a debt, just at times, if just can feel overwhelming. And some people just bury their heads in the sand and want to forget about it. But it's not going to go away. Okay, the first thing you should be doing is pay it off right now. Prioritize the high interest first, and then get rid of, eliminate every single debt that you own first. Okay, some people have a student loan, whether it be halal or no halal. I'm not going to get into that situation, but pay that off as well. Okay, start with that. If the only debt you have, pay the student's loan first. Okay, once you have that, then you can start to breathe. Okay, sleep well at night, and then start thinking about other things. Genuinely, that's what I did. That's what helped me, just to kind of get my mindset into more about investing in future. Before then, I couldn't actually even think about anything else. Not that I had a lot of debt, alhamdulillah, but that's one of the things I did. So step 1, pay off any debt that you have. Step 2, avoid credit cards. A lot of us, unfortunately, think credit cards is actually a good thing. You get a credit card, you max it, and then you pay off the interest. Sometimes some people just pay a monthly, this bit, that bit, and it can be overwhelming. I think in the UK we're lucky. Basically, I don't actually recommend anyone to have credit cards, but in the UK we're quite lucky. I think in the US you can get credit cards that, like, I don't know, in the UK maybe you can as well. But some people say, I watch a lot of what's it called? Something Ramsey. I can't remember his name now. But he talks to people who have £200,000 or dollars, whatever, in debt with credit cards. I'm like, wait, who's giving you this much? It's absolutely crazy. But of course, it's not permissible in Islam. And if you are, just pay that off as quickly as you can. And even if it means you ask your family member or someone to actually help you out, do that. Okay, because then at least then you're going away from the riba side of things, and inshallah, once you pay that off, then once that's off, then you can pay your family members quickly, and just pay it off. Don't take for granted the fact that family may help you, whatever. The next one is build an emergency fund, and this is really, really important. Okay, say for example, sit down, find out how much your expense is for each month. So write down every single thing that you have to pay for. Write it down, find out how much it is, and then do to 3 to 6 months. My plan normally is about 5 months. I think it should be enough. Why? Because just in case something happens, God forbid, imagine you lose your job tonight. Would you be able to pay off that mortgage, or that house payment that you've got, or the car payment that you have, which you shouldn't have in the first place anyway? But what if something happens and you need to medical bills? Alhamdulillah, in the UK we're kind of lucky with that, but even now NHS has become ridiculous, and there are some procedures where you might have to go to private companies, and it's hard for your family members to go to NHS and wait for months and months basically to be seen. So you might want to actually have that. Imagine your car breaks down tonight and something happens, God forbid, but again, you just need that bit of money. So, and also remember, this is not a savings account. Okay, basically is a money that you can easily access. So put in your debit card, for example, right? Just then keep it in there, or have another account just called emergency fund and have it in there. Don't touch it. Okay, it's not for growth. It's not money for you to earn more interest or whatever, which is of course haram as well. But don't do that. Just have it in a normal account, 5 months of what you would need for each single month, just in case. Okay. And that will help you stabilize your income and everything else, and your mindset will be better. So now we completely paid off our debt. We now built an emergency fund. Okay, guess what the next level is? And this is the most important thing. This is invest. Okay, I put it here, stock market, but it could be something else. It could be property. It could be adding, I don't know, if your family members got a business and they're basically generating good money, or your returns, whatever, you've written all the documents and everything else, and it works out, you can get 7, 8, 10% of your money basically a month or year, then of course, alhamdulillah, that's a good place to start. But normally I say stock market because it is the easiest thing. You can open an account today and invest tomorrow and leave it alone. Okay, and when we talk about stock market, we're talking about investing in high quality businesses, or that are halal, of course, or ETFs, whichever is easier for you. And don't try to be an expert and try to time the market or anything like that. Just hold it for long term and let the compounding do its job. because that's the most important thing. And try to avoid all the basically basically Sharia compliant stuff, because sometimes it's easy. I've got, subhanallah, I'm trying to help a lot of brothers, but there are brothers who are now getting into sort of the Amazons and the Googles and all of that stuff, because they are in the ETFs. Why can we not own it? It works out differently. The ETFs, we're looking at a basket of companies, and then you apply the rules or the standards, whereas individual stocks is a lot more complicated. I'm not going to get into that, but just be mindful, okay? Because remember, in the end of the day, you want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't want to ruin your basically the rizq that you've just got. Subhanallah, it's not a good idea, is it? Okay. And the next one is basically if you want to save for a house, and I know a lot of people are in the UK struggling and so on. If you're doing that, just put your money aside every single month so you can actually get a mortgage. I'm not getting into the mortgage, halal or haram or that side of things, but it is out there. I don't have a mortgage. I don't think I would ever will. But I know there are, I've spoken to so many banks and so on. For me, it's always been a great area. I have questions that people couldn't answer. But at the same time, I know a lot of brothers and sisters that I know, family members who have said, you know what, I do believe this is Sharia compliant, and did it, and it worked for them, alhamdulillah, and may Allah put barakah in their investments and everything else. So yeah, that's another one that is basically that you could do. Start saving for that. So you started investing, you have no debt whatsoever, you've got your emergency fund, and now you're saving for the future. Especially if you're in your early 20s, you haven't got married yet, you haven't got a family, and you're living with mom and dad, and you just try saving, mate. Come on, what are you doing? Just try save as much as you can for that house. Invest as much as you can. Okay. And just the final thing is just to kind of recap. Simple things, genuinely simple things, okay? Pay off your debt. Any credit cards and all of that, avoid them, okay? Be safe, start investing, start thinking about Sharia compliance, so on. Put money aside for basically a family home in the future, okay? And at the same time, just the most important thing for me that you hopefully take away from this is this idea of being, having a plan and being financially having that freedom financial to do whatever you want to do. Wallahi, there's nothing like it, I promise you. Okay, I'm not there yet. I'm working towards that, inshallah. Every single day I think about it. I have to go to work every single day to get a paycheck, to get money basically from wherever, right? And I use that money to give myself that financial freedom, and I'm going to do as much as I can to help brothers and sisters out there. My brother, alhamdulillah, just graduated this year from university. The first thing we did is basically I sat with him, we made a plan, and September he's going to start working. And as soon as that starts, he's going to put money into the market, he's going to save for a home, and he's going to put that first couple of months, we said he's going to put his emergency fund and so on. I'm helping as many people as I possibly can, because I realized this country, and I'm sure it is the same basically thing in the US, people are genuinely struggling to make ends meet, and it's not really great right now, and things are doom and gloom and so on, and people are getting into depression or all sorts of things. I have family members, friends who are genuinely struggling paycheck to paycheck. The government don't care about us, I promise you. They don't care about your future, they don't care about everything else. They just want your vote. Once they get that, they're out. You can do whatever they want to do. Okay, so just think about yourself and what you want to do. Especially if you're in your 20s, stop and really think about this. I've basically turned 38 a couple of days ago, alhamdulillah, and all I'm doing is trying to build my future for the next 12 years, inshallah. By the time my kids are university level, I want to be able to say I'm financially free. I can travel the world, I can do anything, I can help my children, I'm giving them a head start, okay? So yeah, I'm doing everything I can, and I hope that you're doing that for yourself and your families and so on. If you get anything out of this and you find it helpful, okay, like the video, subscribe, share this with someone who needs basically a financial reset, someone who you think is struggling at this point. Because Allah, that brother sitting with him, alhamdulillah, was a wonderful thing to do, because we managed to kind of put a plan in place. I'm not a financial advisor, but I think a lot of the things that I said to him made sense, and we started. And again, every time I do these things, I always share my journey with them, and that's where it starts and that's where it ends. Anyway, I hope you're finding this helpful. If you are, please join us on this journey. Help us by joining, of course, the Patreon account, where you can get access to a lot of things, including the family portfolio and so on. And yeah, inshallah, let me know in the comment section, okay, how have you started? What have you done? Where are you on your journey right now? Have you been investing for a long time? Are you financially free? Are you, help us, please, so we can help as many people as we possibly can. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu Alaikum.